First off, women cheat because they are stuck in an unhappy marriage, right? I realized over the years that a lot of people are actually stuck in unhappy marriages. If you're over 30, you start realizing that your friends around you, a lot of them will be starting to get a divorce. A lot of them who got married in their late 20s, cracks will start to show in their relationships, and a lot of them are actually not happy together at all, right? And there are a lot of times also where the couple will still be together, but they're already unhappy together, and they might be living separately in different rooms, in different houses. But as a person who's not that close to them, you might not even know that their relationship or their marriage has already started to break down. Now, just imagine this, from the stories and the real life couples that I know that have been through this. A woman would cheat if they are stuck in an unhappy marriage. Now, this happens simply because she married the wrong guy in the first place. When we are in our late 20s, I'm sure you might be familiar with this if you have a certain age, or if you know friends or cousins who are 20 plus or above 30, you realize that as you near your 30s, you are under tremendous pressure to get married. When you are in your late 20s, a lot of couples are actually not happy together with each other, but they have been dating for a few years, and it is the time to get married. And because of peer pressure, every Chinese New Year you go back, your relatives, your parents will be asking, so when are you getting married? You know, it's time. Every single month you see your friends getting married. So a lot of couples, even if they are not happy in their relationship in their late 20s, will still get married because they are scared that if they break up right now, it's going to be very hard for them to find another person. Even if they absolutely hate the person and they know why the relationship isn't really working, they are afraid to break up and move on because they have been together for so long that they are afraid to go back into a dating pool and start meeting new people all over again. And if they break up, they're also scared and they are fearful that they will be forever alone because all their friends are getting married, and it's going to be very hard to meet new people when you are around 30 years old and have started working. And that is why a lot of people, especially women who want to have kids early, settle for someone who is not really right for them. Now, how do you know if someone is right for them or not? I did an entire series about the 8 types of relationships that won't work and things that you should look out for in a partner and things like that. You can go check them out to find out why, what kind of relationships won't work and how to find out if your partner is truly right for you. Thank you so much for listening. But before we continue, do you have a friend who is still single? Get them to scan this QR code with Wowwwz so they can get introduced to the love of their lives today. Just type WOWWZ and you can find us on the App Store or Play Store. You can change their lives today. So please, share this with them. It's free. Links and details can also be found in the description below. Thank you. So for this kind of couples, I know someone who got married for precisely the same reason that she shouldn't, peer pressure, because she's of a certain age and she got married because everyone around her was getting married and her parents was also asking to get married, even though she already knew that her husband or her boyfriend then is not a very good guy and is not really the kind of guy that she wants to spend her life with. But because she has been together with that guy for so long, she just felt that, okay, fine, I'm just going to settle for this guy, and they got married. But after a while, after a few years, what happened was they realized that they just really cannot stand each other anymore. That guy is clearly the wrong person for her. So after a while, they started to grow apart and they started to sleep in separate rooms. And after a while, she just went back to her parents' place. And something is clearly wrong in that kind of relationship. And they give the excuse of the house is too small, it's easier to take care of their kids that way and stuff like that. But the truth is that they just they just don't love each other anymore, and they have actually realized that they're actually the wrong partners for each other. Every time they see each other, they will argue, they will throw things, they will just not want to, not they just, when you're wrong for each other, you just don't want to talk to that person at all. So she's clearly stuck in an unhappy marriage. That's why when her friend introduced her to a mutual friend that is the guy that she has been looking to marry all her life, who is single, right? But they clearly know that she's married, but because you're so unhappy in your current marriage, she succumbed to the temptation and eventually cheated on her husband by dating this guy. So if you really start to think about it, it's actually common sense. Imagine if you are the woman, you have dedicated your life by marrying this guy, but you realize it's the wrong guy, and every single day you just absolutely hate his guts and just can't stand to see him anymore. Naturally, when the opportunity arises in that friend that you just met that is willing to entertain dating you even though you are married, things happen, and that's why she succumbed to the temptation and started cheating on her husband. So some women do cheat because they are stuck in an unhappy marriage. It's not like they want to. It's because they were married to the wrong person in the first place. That is why it's so important to make sure you are really right for each other before getting married. That is why I have dedicated the past 10 years of my life trying to build Wowwwz, an app that can help you find the right life partner. Not just any partner, but the right life partner. Someone who shares compatible values, compatible life goals and interests as you. Someone who you can actually relate to someone you can actually grow old together and live happily ever after. It is not easy. That's why we built so many tools and we built this graph that has so much data on it just to introduce people who could be right to each other so that they can have a chance of meeting and grow together as a happy, lasting couple, right? So women do cheat because they are in a happy marriage. That is one reason that is more common than you think. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you agree on what I've just shared? If you have any thoughts or interesting stories to tell me, do let me know by leaving a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. The love of your life is probably your friend's friend right now, and we can introduce you to the 60,000 single guys or 60,000 single girls in your extended network through this graph that we have built. So if you are single or know anyone who's single, do share this with them and get them to scan this QR code right here to meet other amazing single people in KL. Or if you're in Singapore, you can scan this one. You can also scan the QR codes in the descriptions below to meet other working professionals, students, lawyers, accountants, and people who like the same things and think the same way as you. Lastly, remember to like, share, and subscribe so more people can find true love. Alright? If you want to know why I've dedicated the past 10 years of my life trying to build an app that can help everyone find true love, you can watch this video right here. Or read about my 10-year startup journey in the links below. Subscribe, and someone will meet the love of their lives today.